is time to awaken the ultimate life. Welcome to the world, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Welcome to Blasting Through Reports, logging in as K9 Biscuits, and today we are reviewing Sonic X Shadow Generations. And I'm here with, not Brian.
Hello.
Because he didn't pick up a copy and he doesn't own a modern system.
Actually,
wait, what system? Do you have an Xbox?
Huge fan of Sonic.
You got a PS4?
I have an Xbox One. I have a Xbox. I have a new Xbox 360 now. So
You have a PS4? You're a Sony dude.
Yeah, I'm not on.
No, you got a Switch. Yeah, you could have gotten the game.
I don't care about the few. I don't care about the modern. The only thing I care about really on modern is Switch. And yeah.
No, you could have gotten the game. It's on Switch.
I could.
Should have gotten it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's cancel the podcast until Brian gets the game and finishes it. All right, but anyway, today, we're doing Sonic X Shadow Generations. What was your expectations leading up to this?
What you mean?
The game itself, when it was announced.
Oh,
at the Sony State of Play.
I didn't hear what you said.
What was your expectations leading up to this at the Sony State of Play when it was announced? That's what I said. Now answer the fucking question.
Calm down.
We've got 3 seconds.
It was Sonic Generation with Shadow. I like it. Since I'm not a huge Shadow fan, I wasn't really super overhyped. Like I'm not, and I obviously already played Sonic Generations before. I mean, but anything new, I was like, anything new, I'm going to be happy to see come out. Anything Sonic anything Sonic releases, I'm going to be happy to play.
I kind of had a feeling this was coming because I like they re-released Colors before that, like a year and a half before that game, and I kind of had a feeling Generations was coming. I know we're not going to get Unleashed right now. I think after Unleashed came out, when Colors came out, they were slowly trying to phase out everything that came before. They were trying to take like Unleashed off shelves and stuff, and then they put it back on shelves when it became backwards compatible for the Xbox One for some reason. But like, I kind of had a feeling this was coming, but what I didn't see coming was the extra Shadow DLC content, and my thought was, oh, this is going to be like, what, a 30-minute, like, extra mode, because my thought was episode Shadow from Forces, because that was like short as heck.
Yeah, that
was like very short DLC.
No, nothing.
But the more info came out, it was like, oh, this is becoming like more of a fuller game.
This is more like what's the from Super Mario?
Bowser's Fury on Super Mario 3D
this
World.
Is more like that. It's like its own standalone game, like basically.
Yeah, and basically short game. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's or something more akin to like Miles Morales.
Yes, and like this is like coming. This is like for an advertising campaign they're calling the Year of Shadow. By the way, my thoughts on Shadow the Hedgehog as a character, Edgy the Hedgie. He's cool. He's a cool design. Not one of my favorites, honestly.
Sorry, what about that giant poster you have on your wall that says "Fuck me, Shadow"?
That's on your wall, you idiot.
We're in your recording studio, Mark. If you could just admit and tell us.
No, we're not. We're at a strip club. But I do have a Shadow poster downstairs, and
it's real.
It's a movie poster. It's a movie poster. But like Shadow the Hedgehog as a character, he's okay. I don't know what his place is in a Sonic game. I don't know what his personality is meant to be sometimes, because it seems like they don't from his reappearance in Sonic Heroes up to his appearance in Sonic 06. It doesn't seem they know what they're doing with the character. And like even in the mixed other medias, when he shows up like in Sonic Boom or in Sonic Prime, his character kind of flip-flops. Like if it is either he's Sonic's rival, or he's an ally that like is short-tempered,
or someone just there to give Sonic a fight. Literally, literally after 06, it's just he's there so Sonic can have a fight.
I assume he's more he has a more consistent character in the comics, but I haven't been catching up with the comics recently. Both IDW and Archie. I'm assuming.
I don't know much about Archie anymore. It's been so long ago. But IDW, it fluctuates because he's not always there. Like he was in the last major arc, but in this one, I haven't seen him at all. Like
I'm pretty sure it's probably the same way in Archie because Ian Flynn wrote like a couple of the later arcs after Ken Penders left.
Oh.
Yeah, Ian Flynn was there since.
I didn't know that.
He was there. You didn't know he was there since Archie.
I knew Ian Flynn was a part of Archie. I didn't know he wrote after Ken Penders left.
Probably not directly afterwards, or could have been. I forgot the timeline, but I know he was there. He was the one that like reset everything when the Ken Penders whole debacle was going on. They couldn't use those characters anymore. Most of those characters.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Well, it did become more consistent after with the Genesis wave. So I guess that's when he started taking over. Gotcha.
But I was always aware. Like Shadow was like a favorite character to a lot of people, especially like edgelords. People.
The Hedgie speaks for itself.
Oh yeah. I remember like seeing the cover to the Shadow the Hedgehog 2005 game. It's like, I remember like a kid in school like, you know that Sonic game where it's like he it's on the cover, he's holding a gun. I didn't believe him at first, and then like, oh, it's real. It's it's Shadow the Hedgehog. That's a weird because he's pretty much Sonic gameplay. So it's whether they actually made a game of Sonic with a gun.
I mean, he was supposed to be the more mature version of Sonic. I mean, didn't this game itself get was it for everyone?
E10. It was meant to be it was meant to be more mature than I think it was meant to go for a teen rating, but they just sell for E10 so they can get more.
But yeah, he's supposed to be that character who mixed well with early 2000s.
Heart of the 2000s. Right?
I mean, well, like that time period was edginess because even like Jack 2 even did the change.
Yes. It did.
But like it was smart because Shadow the Hedgehog sort of fucked, huh?
And it doesn't really account for how good the game was. But
when it comes to Sonic shit, that doesn't fucking matter. Sonic is extremely merchandisable. Like a lot of, if not probably all, like Sonic games just fucking sell well. They don't sell, like not every Sonic game sells the best, but they usually always sell.
Except for the Wii U games.
Because there's not many Wii U's. But like, I think the only Sonic Lost World like sold decently on PC. Because that game is like on sale a lot.
Yeah, it's not fun at all. Don't buy it. Don't get.
If they're into Sonic, they already bought it.
If you're planning on getting it, don't get it.
Okay. They already.
Wasn't that one?
It's always usually bundled when it comes like when it's on Steam.
Wasn't that one of your early reviews, Sonic Lost World?
Oh yeah, it was.
That was funny as fuck. It was like, yeah, I hate this translation on what system was it bad on the most? Was it 3DS?
3DS is the one of the worst Sonic games. Period. Fuck. I hate
the 3DS version was worse than the console version?
Fuck yes! It's god. So many pits of doom, leaps of faith. That fucking special stage where you have to, no joke, you have to rotate the 3DS 360 degrees. Turn all the way around to like fucking move Sonic. It's, oh god, it's so bad.
Lost Worlds was one of my least favorite of Sonic games.
Play the 3DS version, love it. You'll fucking love life. Play the 3DS version next to a fucking glass of bleach. I promise you won't drink it.
You should have him do that instead of go to MagFest, actually.
Why not both? Make a show out of it. That'll be our panel.
Yeah.
Well,
Mark, honestly, your anger about that might actually be a great 30-minute panel at like Ed Retriever coming up. To be honest with you.
I can talk about it forever instead of Sonic John. Well, like anyway, onto the game. But yes, the game itself. So far, actually, what is your opinions on Generations? Actually.
Oh, it was a fun game. It was a fun time. Mainly the modern stages. I'm not saying Classic sucks or anything, but I didn't feel any different control scheme when it came to Classic.
Oh, Classic is fun. It doesn't feel anything like the Genesis games or the 2D games, but like it's because he's heavy. He's heavier and he doesn't jump as high, and like there's not like many ball physics. If you curl into a ball down a slope, Sonic will go back to running on foot again. Yeah. But like for the way they're designed, they're still fun. They do have the classic sense of design. They're definitely designed different from actual classic Sonic games. but I think it's still fun. And the modern levels are probably like I think it's the best. At the time, it was the best iteration of the boost formula.
Yeah.
Those are really those are the most funnest, and I think the most effort in terms of.
Well, I mean, after Unleashed, they pretty much got their game together. So it was what the next game.
I think the Days Time Series and Unleashed were good, just like difficult.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They got their formula together. So but of course, the next game is gonna be more in tune to those boost mechanics.
Oh yeah.
Like so.
There's sometimes they gotten worse because they like to change up the envelope. Like fucking Lost World, that shit was horrible.
Like Lost World didn't have no fucking boost formula, but I agree it was awful, but it didn't have a boost.
It wasn't a boost formula, but it was still working.
You mean like the spin dash was meant to be the boost mode?
No. I mean just as a Sonic game as a whole.
Yeah, it sucked. Don't get it again.
Actually, I think Forces is the worst of the generations. Like Forces are backwards.
I would play Forces before I play Lost Worlds.
I mean, I played a lot of things before I played Lost World. I'm talking about in terms of boost games. If we're gonna do strictly boost games, Forces is worse than Generations.
Yes, it is.
Because it's just corridors, especially that level design.
Yes.
I think Sonic controls fine in Forces, but like I think actually no, Forces feel a bit stiff, or it's probably the level design. I'm probably not misremembering, but like Forces wasn't all that great. But like I really love Generations. It's almost great. It probably would be my favorite 3D Sonic game. If like if it didn't end so, like the ending like level and boss is awful. I fucking hate Planet Whisk and I hate Time Eater. Time Eater is one of the worst. Time Eater is the worst Super Sonic boss fight. Period.
I guess I could agree with that. I can't
Can you think of a worse one? Because I have an easier time with the fucking 06 Super Sonic boss fight. I have an easier time with fucking the Shadow Hedgehog Super Sonic boss fight. Like all these like Super Sonic boss fights from other games. I have like fucking I play the Super Sonic boss fight from fucking Sonic Heroes over that shit. Time Eater is awful. It's an awful boss.
As for Planet Whisk, I think it's along the lines of the 2D section that I dislike about it because the earlier sections where it's just forest and everything you running around. It's when you get to the construction site that it starts to take a dive.
Which is most of the level anyway.
Yeah, I
and
know,
it's like
but I what I'm saying is like I don't want to just rag on that this level sucks completely because it had the potential to be something else.
I think it sucks completely. Like compared to the original Planet Whisk, yeah, because I love Planet Whisk and Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors is my favorite 3D Sonic. The Wii version of Sonic Colors is my favorite 3D Sonic game. But like the thing about Planet Whisk on Generations is like, especially Act 2, it's like it goes on for too long. And the thing about Sonic Colors what I like is with the Whisks are optional. You can get like they are never mandatory in any level. And no level is mandatory. Sometimes it feels like it, but it's not. Sonic the levels in Sonic Generations, the Whisks are mandatory. And the puzzles you have to go through the Whisks are like for Modern Sonic's case, it's repetitive, and same thing. Yeah, Classic Sonic 2. It's just not a fun level.
Okay. I'll let you have it.
Yeah. I thought it was just
I like the aesthetic of the beginning of this thing. So whenever
I like the aesthetic too.
Whenever I look at it, I go, oh man.
Because that was people's complaint in Colors for Planet Whisk. It was like I wish there was more force, and then they gave us that, and then at the same time. The level was too fucking long and repetitive. And then after that you get Time Eater. Yeah, it just wasn't a good overall ending. It was so close to being my favorite Sonic game, but like, I mean, did you play the Generations Forces on its re-release?
I did not. The re-release of Generations? You said Forces.
Did I say Forces?
You did.
Did you play the re-release? Did you play the I said the Forces version. Shit. Did you play the Sonic parts of the Generations re-release?
I played all through of it.
Okay.
I played both of them.
Alright, so how do you like the changes to the script? Because from what I know, Ian Flynn did some touch-ups on some of the dialogue in the middle of cutscenes to add more references.
It didn't really change much of the story. It didn't really change much. It's basically the same, but I think I feel vindicated. For them to tie in things games that I played in the past. So it's like you to hear these references make it seem like the games we played made what's the word? How can I put this? Because they added on this new dialogue, it makes me feel like they were important. Something that
yes, because my problem with the original Generations was you're going through all these old levels, but they're not. The only reference they did was Sonic's dialogue of saying, "Well, it's not any weirder than saying saving aliens from a planet or saving genies from lamps."
But
and that was kind of the only reference
it
they
felt
made.
like in the original they was purposely sidestepping saying things. Like at some point, like even the change to the dialogue where Tails straight up just says the chemical plant now. In the original, he was like that pink goo, that purple goo.
Yeah, he says it looks.
It felt like they forcibly changed that.
Yeah.
For some reason, it felt unnecessary. Why didn't you just say chemical plant? It's not like you don't know what it is. You've been to this multiple times.
And it said they said it seems familiar, but they don't know what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what Green Hill Zone is
Yeah,
all
you
the
would
time.
know what all this is. It's just,
There's also no other like references to other like, because this felt like kind of like an anniversary sort of like it's an anniversary game. It was an anniversary game, but like for an anniversary game, especially for ones that like where you play through old shit, it's like you expect a lot of old references, and I was kind of disappointed with the overall story when I originally played that. When I originally played it.
But like I said, the story itself don't really amount to nothing because it's just placeholders for you to just play the levels. I mean the original story anyway, and the new story to an extent.
Well, that was my main. I love the story in these Sonic games. I love trying to make continuity of it. That's why I'm so glad for Ian Flynn writing on the modern Sonic games now, because now they're actually continuity actually matters, and story actually really does matter in these games. Because back then you try to get as little as you can out of it. Because like these Sonic games did try to take themselves seriously. Back around like since they first started going into 3D, and then they try to be more lighter tone when they started doing colors. Because they got I forgot what the name of the writers are, but they came from like Happy Tree Friends, and they started writing for colors for. They wrote for Colors, Forces, Lost World, and they wrote on Generations. And they were trying to give a lighter tone to the overall Sonic games. And now we're kind of back to like they're doing like it's a good mix, and it's like the comics.
Yeah.
And since they got the comic book writer on it, I remember after Generations in 2011, I remember. A release that came out much later was Lego Sonic Dimensions. If you ever
No, I didn't get a chance to
play that, I'll have to let you borrow the whole fucking thing. But you have a PS3?
I do.
Okay, good. I have the PS3 version. I have the Wii U version, but like
I don't know Wii U.
Better than having a PS4.
Either one will work. You gotta play Lego Sonic Dimensions. But like,
is it still available for because I'll just buy it myself.
huh?
Is it still available for purchase? It's still available
Like
for
eBay.
purchase.
eBay probably, right?
On
I will
eBay,
check.
Amazon.
I'll check it and I'll just play through all of them. How many is it? Just one? Or is it an entire series?
You need the Lego Dimensions base.
So,
And then-
just have Marvel.
And you have to it's physical shit, by the way.
Huh?
Like it's a toy to build. It's a toy to play or whatever. Lego Dimensions.
I'm going to pause the recording. But yeah, Lego Dimensions is the physical shit. But I remember playing Lego Sonic Dimensions and cause it's a little mission mode.
Yeah.
And it has its own little story to it. They make so many references, and it was like, this is the kind of thing I wanted from Generations. Is like all the references they're making and all the little things they're doing. Like my favorite part is in Lego Sonic Generations which I was hoping for in Generations was there's a boss fight where you fight all three Metal Sonics. Well, all three of the main console Metal Sonics.
Silver, Metal, and Mecha?
Yes.
Holy
I
shit.
know who those people are.
Because there was an opportunity. There could have been an opportunity for them to fight all those in Generations, where it's like, Silver could have showed up in a Death Egg robot boss fight, and Mecha could have showed up in Sky Sanctuary.
Yes.
But they didn't do that.
They did not.
But I'm talking around the actual game. But what I like about what this re-release of Generations is they add those references, and I like that it actually feels like an anniversary title, because Generations feels like it's just the original. It just feels like it was presented the Sonic anniversary, but not celebrating it.
Yeah, vindication. Like it's one to have like a Sonic game come out later on and just like you said the right, like it felt like the writers in the original generations like didn't even look into the story of Sonic. It because each level could have itself with each of the characters you rescue could have their own little dialogue to reference the stage they were being on.
Yeah, like when you go to Green Hill, when Tails and Sonic see Green Hill Zone, they actually do a really deep cut. They don't say it's just Green Hill Zone. They said it's Southside Island, and then when you go to Chemical Plant, they mention West Side Island.
Yeah.
And then like when shut the fuck up. Brian's in the background, by the way. But and then later they says like we're traveling through time and space. Sonic says without the time stones.
Yeah, that's not a deep dive, but that's
also a deep dive because the time stones is only used in one
I know
game.
it's Sonic CD, but I'm saying like to this point, a lot of us have already played Sonic CD. It's one of the it's added to the classic.
People know it's Sonic CD, but not everybody thinks about the time stones. I say it's still a deep dive. Because also, like I just said, West Side Island, South Side Island, it's a deep dive because those are not they don't mention the names of those islands often. They just say Green Hill Zone or whatever zone is on those islands.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I said it again.
Baltimore Street Zone.
Did you use the drop dash at all for both?
I was confused
because they added that
as to when I was playing with Martin, and it kept happening, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I found it out by accident too. I just held the jump button. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Because I had a feeling they was gonna add the classic because they're adding to every classic game. Because even the re-release of Sonic 1 and 2 on the Switch,
yeah.
Separate from Sonic Origins, by the way, people. They added the drop dash to that too.
Yeah. I think it was unnecessary because the levels themselves didn't change.
It's unnecessary.
Especially in Classic, where it definitely wasn't built for a drop dash. Like the levels weren't built for. If this was like the Forces Classic levels, I know you don't like Forces, but it still had some kind of layout to compromise the complement the ability. But when you add it into this or in Modern Sonic, like you already had the boost for Modern Sonic.
The only game that felt like it was designed with the drop dash in mind was Mania, and that was it. The drop dash was just sort of secondary in every other Sonic game that came to.
Yeah, so
it was added.
It was
every
fun,
time.
but it was cool. But it's like I didn't use it at all. Like it wasn't necessary.
I've seen there was pro strats for it in modern in the modern Sonic stages.
I would be more
but I haven't been using it.
Back the bounce.
I was trying to make use of it, but I just ended up boosting.
Yeah, I'd be more appreciative if they brought back a bounce than the drop dash.
That'd be fun, but I don't see a use for it.
I still would like to use it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I still want to use that.
I would like them to bring back all of Sonic's broken ass moves from 06.
No, don't do that. They can just clip through the entire level.
Why not? Fuck it.
You just clip all the way to the end of the level. What would be the point of that? Those busted ass crystal powers.
To clip to the fucking level. That's the point. The fucking cheat.
Anyway,
that's why people are using the drop dash anyway. They're modern.
Want to hit to the shadow part?
Yeah.
For
I'm just wrapping up Generations. But yeah, I like the little fixes to Generations. But like onto the main event, the shadow portion.
What?
Huh?
What?
What are you talking? Wait, what are you whatting about?
We're talking about that.
What?
Are you doing a bit?
Yeah.
Are you doing? Because like it's not going by well. I just took you seriously, so that kind of ruins it already.
So after
yeah. Bit failed. Anyway.
I destroyed you once. I will do it again. No more mistakes. We'll finish this here and now.
But yeah, the Shadow Generations part. like when I first saw this in trailers and stuff, I think I thought it was like I was curious if it was gonna play anything like the Frontiers boost stages. I know this is like gonna be a separate. I had a feeling this is gonna be a separate engine in general from Generations. I knew there wasn't gonna use like they ain't gonna go back to Generations coding, so that and it even looked like tweak coding from Frontiers.
It basically, I mean, the white space was basically the Frontiers open zone.
Yeah.
Area. That's basically what that was. Just a smaller one, but still basically open zone itself.
It make me wish they went back to Generations and made that area 3D for when you switch to 3D.
What?
The Generations white space. The Sonic one. I'm sorry. The Sonic sticker.
I was hoping for that too. Like that would have been a lot more fun to go around and see, just like Shadow. But I guess they only had so much time and they couldn't tweak it too much since it's basically a re-release or a game that not a remake, a re-release of a game that already passed. So I didn't think it was gonna take too much of it. But yeah, I would have loved for them to do that with Sonic and have maybe to run around as classic Sonic and Martin Sonic in the open zone type area. But as for the Shadow part, I had fun.
I think it's the best controlling boost game we have right now.
You mean the levels itself?
Yeah, the levels itself. I think it's the best controlling boost gameplay we have right now because I have funner. I like it better than Generation. Like you have a clear comparison with Sonic Generations next to it. I think it definitely plays better than Sonic Generations to me.
Okay.
And I thought the Frontiers like gameplay for the levels for the cyberspace levels, it was a little bit like stiff for me. But like I think like this is like a perfect balance of that, especially with the added like shadow powers like chaos control and like some of the other unique powers you get in between that. I think it's fun. These levels are really fun.
I mean, and also the fact that the levels themselves actually feel like levels, to where we had in the past couple of years they've been shortening them to an astounding degree. But as of these levels, it was both when you play a Shadow, like the first act is 3D, first act is 2D.
Yeah, I was wondering how they could do that. Cause I was like, there's no classic Shadow, so it was like we just get two acts and it's like, oh no, one's 2D and one is just sideways. I'm like, okay.
Even in 2D sessions, it never felt stifling. Like I enjoyed playing through all 5 of those levels.
Yeah.
Like, the last level was 2-3 levels, but for the most part, the 2D wasn't anything.
I think these are all definitive versions of these levels. I
would say the definitive version because I still like the original Rail Canyon compared to this one. I still will play that one over this one. It's my favorite level in that game. So.
I would play this Rail Canyon over the Sonic Heroes Rail Canyon any day because that rail grinding is like fucking ass.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Okay, it's not that bad, but like
heroes don't know how to grind correctly. I learned because when I was watching my brother play, he didn't.
I know how to grind.
He didn't know how to grind correctly, so he never actually like.
So does he press the X button repeatedly? Like,
yes, he's pressing over and over again, doing.
Because the game, because it does look like the game is trying to tell you that, because like it makes it look like to mash the X button, but like it's telling you to switch. But like, yeah, I know how to grind correctly, and it's not fun. It's just not fun.
But like but I'm just saying, it could have been that in the original game. It could have been that whole thing that's making people see the grinding as extremely slow. Like, because there were sections where you had to be speedy in that game doing the grinding, and if you're doing the whole button pressing over and over again, you're shooting shot with lasers. But
like I didn't find
like
rail grinding fun until Sonic Unleashed, where it's just like a different form of like running, and you just like boost on. It was pretty much just like rail grinding was just like the switch up section.
Yeah.
It was just like when you get to a rail grinding section, just like switch up and watch out for obstacles. And it's not about balance. Sonic, I didn't like rail grinding Sonic Adventure 2. I think
that one sucked real bad because that was about balance.
Yeah. And they made it worse in Sonic Heroes. And it existed in Shadow the Hedgehog. And it just existed in 06. But like I think they figure out how rail grinding can be fun and unleashed for me.
Yeah, just
and I think
boost.
and with the kind of unleashed rail grinding.
But ain't the rail grinding section like when I'm saying like rail canyon is my favorite level? I'm not saying just simply the grinding part. I just like the level itself from Sonic Heroes.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like it's my favorite version of that.
I know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But so like the Shadow the Hedgehog, like I agree that the grinding and everything in Rail Canyon and Shadow Generations is really really good. I'm just saying my favorite version is always going to be Sonic Heroes Rail Canyon.
Oh yeah, I understand that. But the rail grinding is also part of it.
Yeah, I know it's a part of it. I know it sucks, but it's still like I can't take away from that. I'm not gonna compromise on changing it.
Now, are you thinking? Now, is it just Rail Canyon, or is it what's the level before? Power Plant?
No, before Rail Canyon.
It was Rail Canyon because like
Bullet
Sonic
Station.
Heroes like the Bullet Station. So is it also Bullet Station with that?
Like no, it's
Just Rail Canyon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So, Bullet Station is a whole nother bag. The second levels of Sonic Heroes are always not as good, except maybe Ocean Palace.
For me, I like. I enjoy Sonic Heroes from beginning to end, and by beginning to end, I mean the ending for me is Metropolis, and that's when I turn the game off. So that's my beginning
You like
to end.
Metropolis?
Huh?
You like that level?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
I can't.
I don't love it. It's fine.
Okay. But anyway.
After that, every level it's a worser Metropolis, and it's just more repetitive.
Back to Generations. Back to just Sonic Shadow.
We'll talk about Sonic. We can talk about Sonic Heroes some other day.
Yeah, I do like the 5 levels that came up. I think they were well built, well designed. I like the fact that at some points you literally would have to stop boosting. I mean, I know speedrunners won't stop boosting, but there were times when I was just like, if I slowed it down, I'd have a better playthrough as in just fiercely holding the boost button, because a lot of the Sonic games after boost was just about boosting as much as possible.
Colors and Generations had a good balance with that. I think like I felt for in terms of level design, I feel like Forces and
I never felt in regular Generations or in Colors that I had to stop boosting. Like I never felt like I could let go of this button.
Colors was very focused on platforming, so there was times you just couldn't boost.
No, that was the 2D sections.
Those are a lot of 3D sections too. No, because there wasn't a lot of 3D sections in general. But those were like the 3D there was a lot of also 3D sections that like were focused on just platforming.
Yeah.
So Colors was very platform focused, where and boosting was kind of a reward. You only even accumulate boosts.
Yeah,
like that.
but I'm saying I never felt like I was going to die if I didn't stop boosting. Like I was going to fuck up. What I'm saying is like there are times in Shadow Hedgehog that I actually did fuck up because I didn't stop boosting, and it just boosted right off the cliff. There were transitions from like stages where people start warping, and I jumped. I was boosting and I jumped, and I just took off the stage. Like I was like fuck, and I was like fuck. If I had just stopped for a second, it slowed it down, because it's basically saying you don't have to constantly hold the boost.
Yeah, well, I get that. For me, I think it's the same compliment I give to Generations, where it's like because where it's like there's a lot of good platforming, just a lot of mix between platforming sections and boost sections. Like again, the later games that have those less are Forces and Frontier Cyber Stages, where it's like there's more of like speed up boosty sections more than there is like just general platforming. Like just playing Generations back to back too. It was like there's a couple levels, more than a couple levels that have a good balance of like just overall platforming than just boosting. Shadow the Hedgehog, I think it's like I said, I think it's definitive of these boost games, and there was definitely like even an even better balance of that, even than Generations and Colors. These stages are extremely fun. My only gripe with the Shadow the Hedgehog stage is like some of the Doom power-ups are a bit wonky to control. They're not the worst. They're not bad all
Are you
around.
talking
But like
about the
Squid and the surfboard.
I think the
and the
surfboard,
flights.
I think the surfboard during the boss battles were where I really liked them. It was a section in Kingdom Valley where the surfing thing wasn't working out for me. But it's like I think during the Neo Metal Sonic fight, there was a point where I wasn't good with the surfing. But the squid thing, I think they didn't just. I think the game itself didn't do a good way of explaining that, like at all. Like because I for the longest fucking time I could not figure out how this shit worked because I would fire. It would sometimes fire me, and I didn't understand what was going on. Like I know it said to hold the swing, but then when I
There was times I was constantly I was missing swings sometimes too.
Yeah, and I was just like, it doesn't explain it to it. It doesn't explain it. It just says hold the button to swing, but it doesn't tell you that if you swing at a certain point, it'll send you flying through the little spear of goop.
Yeah, I wish it was like just an activation button. I'm not like I don't like that you have to homing attack those little balls to activate it.
Yeah.
But they're not the worst in control. Like they're fine. It can be wonky in certain sections. Kind of wish it wasn't the entirety of the Metal Sonic boss fight, but that boss fight was fine enough.
Yeah.
Metal Overlord.
Wait, we didn't do any squids in the Metal Overlord. It was just surf.
I mean, I was talking about surf.
Oh,
But
okay.
I was talking about the Doom the Doom power-ups in general.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But I mean, Chaos Spear's there. I do like where it's like kind of like the upgrade for it is like the mech, the kind of mech gameplay from Sonic Adventure 2 and 1, where it's like you lock on a bunch of targets and you let it go and it will just like home. Your shot will homing in all those targets.
Yeah. I think it's really just might be a placeholder for the gun. Is in like you instead of just busting, with a gun, they'll just let you press triangle over and over again to just send out what is basically a bullet. So
I mean, well, it is. Yeah, like I said, it does kind of work like the mechs from Adventure 1 and 2. Because I always love that gameplay where it's just like locking on all these targets around you, and like seeing all those shots like come out.
Yeah. So I like.
By the way, there is people have been already modding the fuck out of this game. There is a mod where somebody gave Shadow a gun, and like when you do the lock in, it does gunshot noises.
Well, look what they did. There's already a freaking mod for Surge. So would you?
Well, what I like is somebody made it. There's a mod for just putting Sonic in there, and like when you get the surf power up,
yeah.
I think it's Sonic's board from Sonic Riders.
What the fuck?
That's cool. I like that.
Yes.
Well, this is a modding community. What do you expect them not to do with this?
Oh, that's why you get if you have a good PC, you get every Sonic game on PC because there are potential mods for it because they mod all the time because also every year there's a Sonic hacking contest.
Yeah.
And along with Sage, the Sonic Amateur Game Expo. So the Sonic dev community is is active all year long, all year round.
Yes, they're constantly releasing new projects. Project 06 is one of those, which we'll say that for later. But back for what you're saying with the powers, I didn't really find them too irritating besides those specific points, because there was something new to try out, and I'm pretty sure with enough more play, because I haven't finished collecting all of the stuff. I have S-ranked everything, but I haven't finished collecting everything, so I'll have more time to spend with that.
I didn't bother S-ranking. I don't bother S-ranking everything in my Sonic game. I mean, any of my big games compete, I don't bother doing everything.
I mean, it wasn't really a bother. It was only like 10 stages, so.
I am having fun, so I do want to go back to it.
So yeah, you'll definitely go back to this game.
Oh yeah, I like.
Even if you do it by accident, you'll probably end up S-ranking the levels.
By the way, these boss fights are also cool. I like that they have a theme going. They have an overall theme going on where it's like all these bosses are like a kind of like a form of Shadow, or they try to be a form of Shadow.
Yeah.
Because Biolizard is the original Ultimate Life Form. Metal Overlord tries to be like everybody, along with trying to be the Ultimate Life Form too. He's trying to be the Ultimate Sonic. He's trying to be the Ultimate Sonic fan character.
Oh, and
the Ultimate Sonic OC.
I say my favorite would have to be Mephiles. I like.
Yes.
It's the fight. I love the fight, but I also love the dialogue in between the fight. Like just everything they're saying. Like the canon.
I want to exist.
Like yes, all of that. Like the fact when he was like, you don't remember me again.
I'm glad they made Sonic 06 canon in a way where it's like. Where it does make sense. Like,
the whole time, I was like, who the fuck are you? It's just the whole fight. It was like, yes, because like, okay, this makes sense. And the shifts, the moment when you're like, okay, yeah, because he forgot. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know if like, but you know, like if Sonic had showed up there, Sonic would have known who he was. But the fact that Shadow, the fact that the whole series is wiped out of existence, but at the same time they brought it back and. But his dialogue would presume that he knows that he stopped existing.
Yeah, speaking of the dialogue in general, this whole game with its like with the dialogue, I love it. If you talk to the NPCs, there's like so many fun references they make to each other. Even Big, even like Omega. I think like one of Omega's dialogue when you talk to him at one point, he's like he's mentioning that like you're supposed to be the ultimate life form, yet Sonic can like do everything you can do. And it just like he's like it just kind of it doesn't compute. I don't get it.
I like how Big when he's talking, he's like, hey, I was there, I was here too. I guess I saw you run by a couple of times. So it's
funny he just recognizes Shadow.
Yeah, he just recognizes Shadow because
hey buddy,
Shadow hasn't met Big. Shadow only met Big doing Sonic Heroes.
Technically yes, and I guess the spin-offs are canon too. So like Team Sonic Racing is canon.
Okay.
Oh, that one is.
Yes.
Not everything else, just that one.
But I don't
not the second. So the crossover shit, which is like the Mario and Sonics and the Sega All Stars, those are not canon, obviously.
Yeah.
Those don't even have like real. Okay, the Mario and Sonics have story modes, but like those aren't canon. But like the Sega Racings don't have story modes, and they're not canon. But Team Sonic Racing is canon.
That annoys me.
I know, but like there's only very few. Surprisingly enough, there's only very few Sonic games that are not canon.
Like, but Big and Shadow never actually.
They never talk, but I guess they've been they've been in the same spot, so they would know each other at this point.
They know each other exist, but it never at that point. But the have Big say those things like, oh, I know, I seen you running around like here, like especially during the Sonic Adventure 2 battle when he's in the background of certain stages. And he's just like, oh yeah, I was there. I'm like, yeah, I saw you run by. I'm like, it was cool. Like,
cause he's big. He's always just finding. If he's like not part of the story, he's just finding a spot to fish.
Yeah.
And he could have been anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like did you ever see the original Puss in Boots movie?
No.
Okay, never mind. There was like an Eggvale, and he was like, there was this funny joke where he's like, I was there. it just flashed back to like all these spots where he clearly, if you go back to those scenes, he clearly wasn't there, but it just like shows he was just there the whole time.
But for the story itself, I liked it, but there was some parts where I was thinking like Shadow's much smarter than this. Why isn't he saying this shit?
If you think about the story overall, like how it matches up with the gameplay, it makes no fucking sense. Like, because I thought Black Doom came back because of the Time Eaters bullshit, but no, he was alive. Black Doom was still alive, and he was coming back anyway. Yeah. It just happened. The Time Eater shit was just happening at the same time he was, and unexplainingly, he's somehow able to take advantage of it.
I mean, he's a fucking mysterious alien from another planet that we don't know anything about.
But like
we don't know. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they laid out to he could do this.
I know, but it's like the same logic of a wizard did it. It's just not explained, and it's like because like the Eggmans are currently controlling it. So, what else I guess he's a fan of Radical Highway, because instead of like bringing you to like, by the way, I'm surprised there's no style.
Yeah, I'm like,
there's no 2005 Shadow the Hedgehog stages.
I was like, they didn't put like digital circuit in it. I would have sworn
Westopolis, the fucking Doom.
I guess with the Radical Highway, you don't really need Westopolis, but Like
They could have did it anyway.
What's the? I forgot the name of the level. Would you be the sky level? I forgot the name.
Sky
of it.
Tropes.
Sky Troops. Sky Troops or like.
I mean, they could. Again, they honestly could have done any Sonic the Hedgehog level. They just didn't do any. That's the thing.
Which is extremely weird for a game about Shadow's life, but you put none of the levels of Shadow's.
I guess it's just not important enough. That and like
They really want people to forget that game existed.
That and like
But still,
to be fair, two of the stages are just reused assets.
Which Kingdom Valley and
No, because I'm pretty sure those assets are old. The assets they're definitely reusing is the Sonic Forces level, and the there is no reason for Shadow to have fucking Chaos Island.
I think they get it. Yeah, I agree on a sense where they're like, well, we got time of things in his past. Why can't we have times of things in the future? But it also doesn't make sense because he was never on the Starfar Islands.
He was never in Forces. He was never in Frontiers in general. But the reason it's there, the real world reason it's there, is because it's just easy to reuse assets.
There was no like level. Okay, I get you. I get what you're saying.
They made a level out of the assets.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
I get you.
Because it saves money.
But
the Yakuza developers do that all the time. That's why they're able to release the shit yearly and make it good.
But like I was saying, I'll just leave that timey-wimey stuff to them, and
it doesn't need to make sense, but it's just it is interesting to think about. Like when you pull all this shit together, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. I like how Black Doom just shows up mid-level sometimes, and he's like, Shadow the Hedgehog, fuck you, go back to Radical Highway.
I don't get that either, because he wasn't at Radical Highway, so it would make sense.
He shouldn't know what the fuck Radical Highway is.
On one hand, it'd be like, it's like, that it makes no sense for Black Doom to want that. On the other hand, it could be like just saying, well, these are Shadow's memories. So it's Shadow. It was the first level of Shadow the Hedgehog. So let's just not Shadow the Hedgehog. The first time he appeared. What I'm saying.
Well, yeah.
Keep pulling it back
when you unlock Doom's egg, Doom's like freaking big orb.
It's a whole radical.
Yeah, it's a big Radical Highway thing. And it's like I guess he just really likes Radical Highway for some reason.
I can't justify it beyond
You
Shadow's
can't.
memories.
It does make sense.
If you think too deeply into it, you're gonna.
It does. I don't think they try to make sense of it. I just don't think it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Just but theoretically, in terms of real world,
yeah,
Radical Highway is important because it's the first level of Shadow the Hedgehog, and I mean that's why it kind of has to be there.
It's like Sonic and Green Hill.
Yes.
Right. So it appears everywhere. You can fuss that it's always there, but it's where it started. So.
But by the way, did you ever play the 3DS version of Sonic Generations?
One more time.
Did you ever play the 3DS version of Sonic Generations?
Yes, I did.
Because those also have their own version of Radical Highway and the Bio-Lizard boss fight.
It does,
which is interesting because they're like
Sonic did meet the Bio-Lizard. He just didn't fight him.
Yeah.
So he knows what it is.
But it's also Sonic's Radical Highway wasn't even Sonic's level.
That's true.
It was weird, but for some reason I don't know why they chose it for the 3DS version. I guess it was just popular overall stage.
Stop thinking about it too hard. You're thinking about it way too hard.
No, I'm thinking about why they chose it. I'm not thinking about it story wise.
Like okay.
For the 3D, I remember that was just weird.
For the more story of Shadow Generations, I think it could have went a little bit more into it with the cutscenes with him and Maria.
Maria is actually she feels like an actual character in this more than a plot device. Yeah. She's like in every other game she just felt like motivation for Shadow. In this game she definitely feels like a character. I definitely feel for Maria this time.
Like I don't know, because there was certain parts that I was thinking like, Shadow, why don't you just say this, or why don't you just do this, and you can prevent this from happening. And I go, and sometimes he just it's that trope in storytelling where instead of letting them know what's happening like in a roundabout way,
I think they know what's going to happen. They just like, well, there's really shit they can do about it. It's going to happen because they get ambushed by fucking gun, and they
but we don't
and they
know,
open
we
fire
don't
on
know,
it.
We don't know in time period where it could have been easy for Shadow to be like, Gerald, make sure Maria wears a bulletproof vest on this day. Tell her to play dead until all of them are gone. It's just it's dialogue that could have just been something as kin of that. And then I don't know, it's like, oh, Maria's dead, but like, no, she pops up 25 years, 50 years later.
Yep.
50 years later, and she's older. It's like, I just been in hiding until this moment where I show up again. that could be a whole different game later on. But I know why they did it, but at the same time, it's a trope I read a lot and see a lot.
I think story-wise, character-wise, it makes sense because they are aware that, like, they're not, they're supposed to die from, like, some kind of, some kind of horrific event.
Yeah, but no. I understand their motivations. But I'm saying Shadow himself, he was clear that he wanted to save them. Because from the beginning, he said, they must be pulled in time. Like, I could find a way to prevent them from dying. But that immediately gets, like, they write that out.
Well, his main focus is defeating Black Doom. He doesn't really get, like, what was the word I'm looking for? Bent up on trying to save them until, like, when they're about to disappear in the last
No. When he first sees them, that's his inner monologue.
Oh yeah, well that's one.
And it immediately gets written out. Like for the rest
he
of
immediately
the story,
switches focus to just defeating Black Doom.
Yeah, I have no problem. I have no problem with that because I do like I said, I do like stories that stay on point. But like right at the end, he's like right at the end. I think when he ran off he could like give them like a little warning, like a little tidbit, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Because it was what he said in the first place. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try to save them. Like, if you were a Shadow, and at that point you said, I'm gonna try to save you. So even if they say something against it, like, I would literally give them a hint or something.
No, by saving them, I think he means like trying to like keep them from warping away after like all this Time Eater shit disappears.
But he didn't realize that until later on when they started disappearing, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna get the Chaos Emeralds and stop.
That's why it was kind of like a hypothetical earlier on. It was like maybe I can like keep them here because it.
No, that's not what he said though. He said he literally was saying this must be them on a different part of the timeline.
Yeah, so he can keep them.
No, he wasn't saying I will try to keep them here. He was saying I could try to save them. That's basically like I wasn't trying to keep them here. That thought of trying to keep them there, frozen in time, wasn't until
by that he's saving them.
Yeah, but there was two different ways of saving them. Originally, he was just trying to save them by saving them, and the second part was like, well, you're disappearing. I need to get the chaos control so that I can figure out a better way to save you in the meantime. But but they said I don't want to stay frozen here. I guess what I'm saying, like I like I say, I love the story. I see moments in the time ago.
I guess it probably wasn't explained all that well because it's like
it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't think
because I didn't for between the dialogue, it didn't feel like he was trying to change the time-space continuum. He was focused on the now.
That's how I felt when he first said it. It felt like he was like, okay, because when they showed up, like he didn't do all the oh my gosh, you're real and everything. He goes, this must be them from a point in timeline before they died.
Yeah.
If I do things right, I can save them from ever dying. And I was like, he was trying to change the space-time continuum right there at that moment. But then later on, it was something else.
Well, like, it's still fucking 50 years ago.
But I know, I was like, she'd been an old person.
I'm thinking logically.
Like she'd have been as old as what's his name in the shorts for Shadow.
I know it's General Robotnik.
Huh?
You would have been known as General Robotnik, and you're General Robotnik.
No, not. Is his name General Robotnik?
Yes.
I didn't know. He is her cousin. Oh shit, he's a Robotnik.
What?
I'm talking about not Gerald. I'm talking about
Did I say Gerald? I say Gerald?
No, I thought you were talking about the general.
I said Gerald. I meant to say Gerald. I fucking
she wouldn't be as old as Gerald. She'd be old as the general from the shorts, the Shadow cartoon. The shorts that came before.
The general is also related to them too.
Yeah, I didn't know he's a Robotnik.
Yeah.
Now that you think, oh shit.
Did you read the diary? Because you know.
I didn't read the diary yet.
You know, there's like another.
Don't tell me.
It's important.
I will read the diary when I get home. I keep forgetting I have the book in the physical copy of the book in my home.
I mean, it's not like a supply source. It's just there.
Huh?
It's just there. It's not really a twist or anything.
Let me figure it out for myself, man.
Well, there's more family. That's it.
God, mother.
Did you know there's more to this?
Let me read it, and I will call you with something later, and we'll talk about it.
How'd you not read the shit?
I forgot to.
Did you get the physical version?
Yes, I have so many games to play. It slipped my mind.
Because it's on the game too. You unlock pages on the game too.
Like I know, but I had a physical copy.
And I was like, I'm not gonna unlock everything, so I'm just gonna fucking look through it online.
So we'll go home. I will read the book.
How the fuck did you not read the book?
Oh my gosh! Back to the Sonic, the Shadow Generations thing. Overall,
I make sense of the fucking story. You didn't make it.
Overall, I love the game. I think it's great. I'm not a huge fan of Shadow, so I'm not super hyped like everyone is. But for what I had, I did enjoy the game.
I don't care for the character, but like he does, I think this game does give him a place in like the Sonic universe. They like give him a consistent character in the Sonic world.
Then they just need
Finally.
to find reasons to put him in more games. Beyond being Sonic's another fight for Sonic to have.
Because I remember like Sonic Prime was considered like I guess it technically is, but it's not. They're not gonna go back to it ever. But like what was like weird with the character race on Shadow there is like he's like a begrudging ally. He'll work with Sonic if he has to, but he doesn't like to. And he's always aggressive with Sonic. And like you go back to his character in Sonic 06, he just sort of look like he's a chill guy that's like, well, if the situation aligns, like I'll help Sonic need be.
Like yeah, I think 06 has a better way of displaying him than Prime.
Yeah.
Because I fucking hated Shadow in Prime. He was, like you said, he was over aggressive for nothing. The first time he shows up with Sonic, he punches him.
Yeah.
And says, "What the hell did you do?" When have ever in the Sonic series anyone ran up on Sonic and said, "The shit's going to hell. What the fuck did you do, Sonic?" That makes no sense.
I like his like iteration in Sonic Boom because he's just an asshole. He's just a rival.
Well, that's funny. Well,
that's funny.
It's extremely funny to watch him just showing up. But Prime was trying to make a story, and I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? In later seasons, okay, he was chill, he was cool. But the first season, I was like,
because he had to warm up, and he was like forced to.
He'd run up on somebody and sucker punch him, and just.
I was like, Shadow's not this aggressive.
Like, why's he like this? But everyone loved him. I don't know why everyone loved him. But
He's the hedgy, and he.
That's just like I'm glad they fleshed out the story. I'm glad they gave him a reason to how he is. I'm glad going to have him chill out more later on, because if any indication of this story is that he's going to start chilling out a bit more.
Also, graphically, this game just looks so good.
Yes,
this game looks so good. Everything, all these stages, like even the reused asset stages like Sunset Heights and Chaos Island, they look even better still. And like fucking the Sonic portion Generations. These games have that game has aged well. They touched up the graphics a bit. They made it like textured a little bit. They made it good. But like the Generations was always one of the better looking Sonic games. Right next to Unleash.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any problems with the original way it looked. So,
I really wish. I think Superstars was budgeted. I really wish Superstars looked like Sonic Generations.
You mean the levels, the more like that?
Graphically, I don't like the way Superstars look graphically.
I mean, it's made by somebody different.
Yeah, but I wish it looked like Generations.
I think it boils down to they all have their own way of.
If that team was tasked to make it look like Generations, they would make it look like Generations. But they made it look like cheaper art style. It's fine, but I'm not too big on it. It's Sonic 4-esque, but like it's not that they wanted to do they just kind of did. If they were typed to make it look like Generations, I think they would have gone for it.
Okay.
I just like the way Cloud Sonic looks in Generations. Either that or for Superstars, I would either like to look at like Generations or like Sonic Mania. I'd rather it be like a fucking sprite game.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan because like it's almost new Super Mario Brothers esque the way Superstars is to me, looks to me.
Well,
I'm not big at Superstars as a whole in general.
yeah, I kind of figured that. But you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, but I think this is probably my favorite 3D Sonic game. Fuck it, this whole package, because you get Sonic Generations, even with the like the fucking later half of Sonic Generations, fucking Planet Waste and Time Eater, everything else around it with Shadow Generations, it's just like makes it up for it, and it's a great package. And I like all the extra missions and modes. I have a lot of fun with those challenges. I like the dash ring challenges.
If there's anything I would want out of this, I would like them to add a menu or something where I can just get all the levels at once, where I don't have to switch between the games. Do they have that yet?
All the levels at once.
I mean, like both
between Sonic and Shadow.
I can just pick one without switching the games. Do they have that ability yet?
I mean, that's like switching, because they're different engines.
Yeah, I know.
It would just
I just wish there was a way I could just play all the levels.
It would be like the fucking Jackbox loader, because you know the Jackbox games, right?
Yeah.
They have a Jackbox loader where you can load every game individually, but like if you click on a game from Jackbox Party Pack 1, it will just turn on the program for Jackbox Party Pack 1, but go there instantly. And if you go to a game from Jackbox Party Pack 7, it will load the program. It's just more of like, it's loading an entire game.
Okay, so you're saying, roundabout way, no, that's not gonna
No.
Okay. I just wish it was.
Within the same game, yes, but not, it's like, that's why they probably wouldn't do it for like, even like Sonic Origins. It's like, oh, just get a flat list of levels. They would have to load different games to do that shit.
Well, until then, I guess I just have to keep switching back and forth to play the levels I want to.
They're different games. Just pick a fucking game.
Oh my gosh.
You probably want a list of levels for like every Sonic game and just like thrown on separate programs.
I want to pick the levels I want to play, and I want to just be able to click.
You want the Sonic box loader. That's what you want. That's because that's what Jackbox did. This is Sonic box loader. Just have a fucking list of levels from every Sonic game. You just click a level and it would just load that program.
That's what I want.
Because
if they can't do it, I don't. That's fine.
I don't have the game on PC, but from what I know, if you click on Sonic Generations, it will load up a different program. If you click on Sonic Generations, it will load the same program. And the reason for that is because the Sonic Generations portions is still Sonic Generations, just tweaked a bit. So all that modding shit with the Hedgehog Manager, that's what the modding program is called, Hedgehog Mod Manager, still works for Shadow Exxon Generations. So all your old mods for Generations just still works, from what I heard.
Beggars can't be choosers.
There could be a mod for it.
But I don't have a
Probably
PC.
request a fucking skilled modder to do it for you. Just get the PC version. Just get yourself a Sonic box loader. Sonic box loader. Yeah, well, that's a good name for
the most part, as I said, I had fun. I would recommend getting this game it's your best way to play Generations as of now. So if you
fucking one of the best modern Sonic games. Period. Get this.
So if
you just want a good plot, huh?
Yeah, I was talking to the camera. So if you missed out on the original release, definitely pick this up.
If you played the original release, pick this up anyway. Still a good game, and you get Shadow Generations on top of that. If you just want a good Sonic game, if you just want a good platformer, fucking pick this game up. Mm-hmm. It is just one of the best Sonic games, period. Not the best, but definitely one of the best. Fucking, if not top 5, definitely top 10. It's in the top somewhere. It's good. Good shit.
So, that's basically it for me. Nope, that's everything.
Fuck Rail Canyon Sonic Heroes. Alright, that's it. Now that's it.
God damn it.
Alright, this has been Blasting to Report. So, for right now, logging out, everybody.